is sleeping, and I wasn't about to disrupt his nap. Oh, I'm crooked. Anyway, but his napping spot is also my filming spot. And yeah, I wasn't going to go in there. But I mean, I think it is a universal baby understanding that if you want to, have a baby with a long nap time, then you plan to be productive during that nap time. So I'm sure he's going to wake up any moment now. So if I jump off here, you know why. So I'm gonna wait till a few more people hop on because I want to, interact with you guys. I want to chat with y'all. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a biblical womanhood video. I feel like I've been in a season where I almost feel disqualified to talk about this kind of stuff because I've been in a hard season. My baby just started crying on cue. Anyway, I'll try to make this brief, but I've just been in a season that is hard. And I thought, oh, well, this is just a hard week or two. This is just a hard month or two. This is just a hard, and it just keeps going, guys. And the truth is, it may just be a hard year. It may be a hard 2 years. I don't know. But God is still faithful. God is still good. And so even though the season is a lot longer than I wanted it to be, I'm like, oh, I can get on here and just share about my hard few days, about my hard few weeks. Even if this season is hard for a couple of years, I know that he can still use me. He can still be God. He is still God because he is faithful even when we are not. And I can still be faithful in the craziness. Okay. So just to kind of catch you up, if you've been away for a while, sorry, I have my computer over here to see if anybody comments. But if you have been away for a while, just know that I have an almost 6-month-old and my bigger 3 boys, of course. And this baby is totally different. Mind your matters. Hi. Stephanie Murphy is on here. Oh, I've been there. The hard seasons can be overwhelming. And the Lord is good and sovereign, even in the sleep-deprived, crazy seasons. Yes. So that is what I was getting ready to say. This is my first baby out of the 4 that I have been able to successfully nurse. And I am so happy with that. I'm so excited that the Lord let that work this time. But holy cow, it's a lot. It's like I'm the only one who can be there for him. And you guys know this. You guys have probably breastfed babies before. But he also does not sleep. This is my first baby that is not already way past sleeping through the night by 6 months. Most of my boys slept through the night by 6 to 8 weeks. And this guy is not. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try, they have all these baby wise and all these different things on how to sleep train. And my pediatrician, I have a new pediatrician this time around, and he was like, hey, this is a perfect time to start sleep training. And I was like, you know what? Great. Wow, it's hard. I asked a friend, I was like, hey, have you, I know you have done sleep training. Do you have any tips? Do you have any? And she started giving me these tips, and I was just like, what? You want me to do what? And I just start bawling. Like, that's how overwhelmed I am right now. I have been trying to, hey, Jennifer, I've been trying to wean down my meds. I'm on some anxiety meds and have been for several years now. I've just been doing some more research into those and trying to wean off of those. And so that's kind of been taking a toll on me. I have, lost some people in my life recently that has led to some pretty big emotional stressors. And this is not to say, look at me, poor me, this is a sad time. This is just kind of where I am right now. And like on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being life is hunky-dory and peaceful and great, and 10 being like lock me away, I'm sitting at a solid 7. And sometimes teetering toward an 8 on those mornings when my baby did not sleep all night long and I have gotten 0 sleep. I have been short-tempered. I have been emotional. I have been, my house is a wreck. It's like if the school's done, then the house is a wreck. And if the house looks good, then no school has been done. And we're already behind on school. I know that's kind of a You can't really be behind in homeschool, but we are. We're way further behind than I wanted to be right now. Um, yeah, yeah. Mind Your Matter says times can be tough for moms. Yes, yes, indeed. Um, and so the Lord has just kind of been very kind to me. Not kind of been, He has been. He's been very kind to me. Anytime I sit and read my word, I just get that overwhelming peace. Anytime I pray, I get that peace that things are okay, things are good. God is still ruling and reigning, and things are fine, even when I feel like they're not. So through all of this, sorry, I have notes on this side and comments on this side. I have been learning that it's okay to say no. There are a lot of things going on right now, and I have always been the kind, as much as I'm an introvert and I am not a joiner, I'm not going to go out and look for things to do. As much of an introvert as I am, when people need me, hey Katie, Life in the Mundane, Katie's here. When someone needs me, I'm sorry, Siri thought I was talking to her. I'm your yes girl. And so you need someone, I'm there. You need help with something, I'm going to come help you. Even if I have to drop everything else, I'm going to be there. And that is both a good and bad thing. And my husband's been telling me this for years. Just say no. Like, oh wait, my shirt says just do it. Yeah, just don't do it is what my husband has been saying. And I've been going for years, like understanding what he's saying, but not listening to what he's saying. And saying, yeah, you're right. I really just need to pare down and focus on what I need to focus on. And what's that? Oh, they need me. I'll be back. And I leave and go do whatever someone has asked me to do. And so when we find ourselves in these seasons of, babies, emotional stress, we're overwhelmed with the schoolwork and the housework and all the activities. You have kids in sports or you have church activities. None of these things are bad things. Hey, Yasmin. None of these things are bad things, but it's just a lot. And I find myself drained and I find myself angry and I find myself just not good. I'm just not good. I feel like the Lord is telling me, you can say no. You can say no. And sometimes you have to say no to the good things to say yes to the better thing. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do when there's people saying, hey, can you help out with this? Hey, can you show up for this? Hey, can you bring this or cook this or supply this? That's really hard for me to do because I like helping people. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But it's okay to just say, you know what? That's not my priority right now. And maybe ask me again in a month and maybe I'll be able to help you. But right now, that's not my priority. And I've just found myself, man, I just wish I had more time. I just wish if I had one more hour in the day, if my baby would sleep in one more hour, if, whatever it is. And the fact is, we're not getting more time, mamas. We're not. We have the same 24 hours in our day that everyone else has. And I find myself longing for those days when I had 2 kids because my life was real dang put together then. You could come at my house at any minute. And yes, there may be toys kind of everywhere. There may be a few dishes in the sink, but my house is always clean. Always. That is not the case now. School almost always got done. Unless someone was sick or something, school pretty much always got done. My kids always looked somewhat presentable. That's not the case anymore. Just look at my 4-year-old at any given time. You never know what's going to be on his body. And as long as he's covered, I just let it happen. But I find myself longing for that time when I had it all together. Let's see. Mind Your Matter says, I have a hard time saying no. Boundaries when needed for sure. I'm in a season now that no has been my word. It's hard but needed at times. Yes. Jennifer Harley, praying for you. We've been there. I nodded off while washing dishes once. Yeah, I nod off when I'm reading aloud to my kids every day, every single day. So when I say it's okay to say no, that isn't just people asking me to do stuff. That is part of it. We had to say no to helping out with VBS this year, and it still makes me cringe. But the fact was, I had VBS the same week coming as my sister was coming into town from Arizona. I see her maybe twice a year. And I I left it up to my husband. I said, we're needed at VBS. I'm more than glad to stay and help there. But we're also invited to go to my parents' house and spend time with my sister because she'll be in town. He thought about it for a few days and said, let's go visit your sister. And I'm like, whatever you say goes, whatever, visit my sister. You mean we have to say no to VBS? We have to say no to helping out? um, and hey, Priscilla. But because I left it up to my husband, I just said, okay, I'm sorry, we can't help out with VBS this year. And that still is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I had to say no. But it's okay. It's okay. My husband protected our time, and I can trust him in that. I can submit to him in that. So yes, this is people asking us to do stuff. We can also say no to all of the things for our kids, all of the activities. Right now, one of my kids is playing a sport, and the older boys play sports in other seasons, but your kid doesn't have to be involved in everything. And I know sometimes as homeschool moms, it's like, oh, but we have the time. You know, they can take on all these sports. They can take on the art class and the, going to church and all the different things. And you know what? They don't need to do all of it. And, the point is that at most, you may get a good scholarship. If your kid is great at sports, they may go on a scholarship. They may get to go to college on a scholarship. But your kid's not going to be a professional athlete, most likely. Your kid is saying something, no to something, saying yes to another. Yes. Your kid's not probably going to the Olympics or going to be a professional athlete. You do not have to spend 5 days out of the week out on the field or out on the court or whatever sport your kid is playing. We don't have to do that. I have friends who do that, and they are just run ragged, and their life revolves around sports, and I just feel so bad for them because I'm like, you're saying yes to this, but you're missing out on so many other things. But then here I am saying yes to other things too that probably should be a no. So this is saying no to, all the extras that maybe are not for this season, all the sports and everything else, saying no to whatever those commitments are that maybe you just don't need to be doing right now. This is, for me right now, something that I did is I deleted a whole bunch of apps off my phone. And some of those were those time-sucking apps that we just like waste our time on scrolling. And some of them were things that I truly loved. One of them being Marco Polo. I love to Marco Polo my friends. I have a bunch of great friends on there. But the thing is, it was just taking up more space in my brain. It wasn't a time waster, I would say, but it was just space in my brain that I didn't have right now. And so I just deleted it. There's, I'm sure, a bunch of apps that you can think of that, if you're like everyone else in the world, sitting there with your phone in your hand 90% of the time, there's things we can say no to on there. And then, a lot of those things, those social media things, their time sucks because we're busy looking at other people. We're busy looking at things that are really none of our business. It really doesn't matter to me what some random friend from high school had for lunch today. Why do I need to know that? I don't. It's none of my business. And so I'm logged out of social media. I'm still on Instagram, but I don't really scroll much. I'm mostly there to post things and catch up with a few people that I want to stay caught up with. And so I'm saying all this, not saying that I have it all figured out, but these are just kind of some things that I've had to say no to bring a little more peace in my life. And we'll see what goes on from here. Let's see. Mind Your Matter says, I feel it's hard with good things like service and being at church and outreach, though it's for the better. So yeah. And so saying no to helping out at Vacation Bible School was a big, to me, but sometimes it's for the better. And so, yes, you said, saying no to one thing is saying yes to another. Well, now because I've been saying no to other things is I'm doing something really cool with a co-op this year. I'm starting my own co-op this year, which I'll make a video about soon. I'm having more brain space to put toward that. And toward my kids, toward not being hateful to my kids, not being short-tempered with my husband. And I mean, I'm working on this. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on this. And so a couple scriptures that I thought I would bring up real quick is Ecclesiastes 4. And while I'm looking that up, along the social media thing, I just saw Mind Your Matters posted something about that. But is not only is it not our business, but usually that's where we get drained. We see, oh my gosh, this girl has, look at her house. That's gorgeous. Look at her face. Her makeup is on point. Oh my gosh, she worked out today. Oh wow, look at how well dressed her kids are. Whatever it is, for all the things that they're showing you that you're like, oh, I can't believe she did that. I wish I could do that. For all of those things, hey Stacy, um, for all of those things that they are doing that you're just like, man, I wish I could do that. There's something they're not showing you. They may be showing you their perfectly laid out homeschool room with their perfectly dressed kids sitting at their feet, perfectly doodling and listening to it read aloud. But they're not showing you the pile of dishes that's behind them. Or they're not showing you the newborn that's upstairs crying like mine is right now. He's not a newborn anymore, but you get the point. They're not showing you, if they have the camera turned around, they may not be showing you their face that hasn't had makeup on it in months. They may not be showing you, where they haven't been to church in weeks or they haven't read their Bibles in weeks. And no one has it all together. I mean, we like to think that. No one has it perfectly all together. We're all a hot mess somewhere, and that's why we need the grace of God, right? So I'm talking about finding that margin, talking about saying no to things. I was finding myself, even this last week, I'm not saying this is far in the past, okay? Even this last week, staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning just to get another thing done. I'm sitting there working on YouTube videos going like this. Like I can't keep my eyes open. Have a good day, Jennifer. And so I was finding myself staying up as late as possible to get one more thing done, but sometimes there's a friend that told me sometimes the most worshipful thing you can do is go to bed, is to rest, is to sleep. And I have a hard time with this. I don't like wasting time, and I view sleeping as a waste of time, and that's wrong. That is completely wrong. I did a studies in Ecclesiastes last semester. Actually, it was last fall. I did one in the fall. And Ecclesiastes 4:4-6 says, Then I saw that all toil and all skill and work came from a man's envy of his neighbor. This also is vanity and a striving after the wind. The fool folds his hands and eats his own flesh. Better is a handful of quietness than 2 handfuls of toil and striving after the wind. And so there's people who, can be just full on lazy, and they're just like, they can't even lift their hand, I think the Bible says, to bring food to their mouth. Like they're that lazy. And therefore they have nothing. They're ruined. They're poor. Okay. Most of us moms are not that. Then there's the people who, this is talking specifically about financial gain, but I think this can go for other things too, who enough is never enough. We just want more. We want more. We want to fit in one more curriculum. We want to fit in one more workout, one more load of laundry, one more, whatever it is. We're just striving and striving and striving, and we just never stop and rest. And I think here we're seeing that there's laziness, and then there is all this striving and all this toil for more and more and more, when we just need to let enough be enough. We need to say yes to the certain things, and we need to work hard and get our stuff done, and we need to, do our work as unto the Lord. But then we got to go, okay, enough is enough. Now is time for rest. Now is time to sit with my family and talk with them and eat dinner with them. And now is the time to take a nap. I don't nap, but now is the time to go to bed at a decent time. Rest is so important to the Lord. Yes. Yeah. Let me read that. Evelyn said, rest is so important to the Lord. I need to remember that. I have worked into the early hours. Yeah, I do it all the time. And there's times when you can't get around it. Okay. I have a baby. There's times when I'm going to be nursing in the middle of the night, but God created a Sabbath for a reason, right? He created a day of rest for a reason. He created hours of sleep for a reason. Another verse I wanted to show you guys was in Psalm 90. I'm going to try to wrap this up pretty quick because my baby's getting upset. Psalm 90, 10-12. The years of our life are 70. This is Moses praying. The years of our life are 70, or even by reason of strength, 80. Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone and we fly away. Sorry. Okay, told you I'm emotional. Who considers the power of your anger and your wrath according to the fear of you? So teach us to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom. We only get a set amount of hours, a set amount of days. Like I said, the same 24 hours that everyone else gets. And the Lord wants to use those hours for his glory and our good. And it's up to us to give those hours to the Lord and say, okay, God, what do you want to do here? And so I've started every morning just praying. Yes. Yeah, Stacy said, live each day like it's your last. Yeah, live as unto the Lord wholeheartedly. And if that means, changing a diaper for the 15th time that day, or if that means teaching another lesson, or if that means going to bed early, or if that means pouring your heart out in whatever work God has given you that day, do it as unto the Lord. Sorry, I backtracked. So I start each day saying, okay, God, here are the things that I have before me today. And my list is always, if my friend Wendy was here, I would, pick on her. She always says, she always gives us, or used to give us when I was on Marco Polo, give us kind of her to-do list for the day. And we always called it the Wendy size list because it was always way more than any one person could do in a day. And so I give that list to the Lord. I say, okay, God, here's what I want to do today. I have to film this video. I have to edit this video. I have to take care of my kids. I have to do some laundry and catch up on the dishes and feed the baby and do the school. And, oh, by the way, I have a meeting at 11 o'clock and all these things. And I say, okay, God, what would you have me do today? And help me to do it as unto you. And help me to be okay with the things that I have to say no to, or the things that I have to say, okay, tomorrow to. And one practical way I've been doing that is I've been setting alarms. I've been setting a school alarm. From this time to this time, we are doing school. Yes, I'll have to feed the baby. Yes, I'll have to, switch over the laundry in there. But by and large, this is our school chunk and we're not doing anything else. This chunk, this is my Bible time and my work time. But once that alarm goes off, I put the work down and I go into the school time. Then after school time, we have we have our chore time. This is our time for chores. But once that alarm goes off, if I haven't put away all the laundry, if I haven't done every single last dish, that's okay. We're stopping and we're eating dinner together. And we are doing our family worship time. And this is not a perfect system, but it's working for us right now. And it's just my way of saying no, just saying, okay, my time is sacred and I'm going to say no to the things that are, drowning out the more important things. So dishes are not a bad thing, but if I sit there and try to focus on getting every last dish done all the time, and I'm just obsessing over that, well, then my kids' school time gets sacrificed. Or if I'm so focused on school that it takes me from 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. or 5 p.m., which we've had days like that, my house looks like a bomb went off at the end of the day. And so just setting those timers has really helped me to just say, okay, this is our time for this, but when that timer goes off, we're done. And so I just want to honor God with the hours that I have. And that's one way that I'm doing that. So I would just encourage you, if you find yourself in a similar season, you may not have the same circumstances as me, but maybe you're just like running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Pray, give your priorities to God and have him help you arrange those priorities rightly. Number our days aright that we may gain wisdom. I want to live my days with wisdom. And then, just say no. Just say no to the things that are not for you in this season, whether it's, service and helping other people, whether it's more curriculum, whether it's, whatever it is, anything that is just extra that you're like, this is a good thing and I love this thing. I love taking my kid to dance every day. Maybe you need to say no to that for right now. So just let it go. Just let it go. I'm going to go through these last few comments and I'm going to wrap us up. It's been almost 30 minutes. Let's see. Mind Your Matters says, God gave us the example of rest. Yes, he did. Priscilla says she did this too. I think she was talking about the timers, block scheduling. Yes, all of this. So pray, timers, log off social media, and just say no. Evelyn wrapped it up for me. Thank you. But I will be hopefully uploading another Biblical Womanhood video very soon. It is just about when things are going wrong. So it's very similar to this video, but kind of more cohesive. I just wanted to kind of get this up there today just to kind of let you know what's been going on and to just kind of give you some pointers on what I've been doing to help the chaos. If I turn my camera on right now, you would see our schoolroom is a disaster, but I'm getting this video up, right? So Stacy says she loves our Biblical Womanhood videos. Thank you so much, Stacy. Okay, I'm gonna go hop off and check on this baby and feed him, and I will make dinner and give the rest of my evening to the Lord, right? So I thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you next time.